culturally is virtual programming centered on celebrating, uplifting, and educating the Wildcat community through the lens of communities of color connected or affiliated with Kansas State University. Hello. Over the years, I have encountered K-Staters who have a goal of giving back and making an impact in their community. My name is Jessica Elmore, and I'm the Associate Director for Diversity Programs for the K-State Alumni Association. And today we're going to hear from K-State alum Nakia Hope, who is making an impact in her community, which is located in Kansas City, Kansas. Let's hear her thoughts on how to make an impact in your community.
Hi, my name is Nakia Hope. I graduated from Kansas State University in the spring of 2018, and I currently live in Kansas City, Kansas. Why do I believe giving back to the community is important? I believe it's important to give back to your community because you always have to feed and nurture the place that you come from, because you always have to understand that there are going to be younger generations coming from that community too. I think it's important to always pull your resources, not necessarily financial. It could be skill sets back into your community because you help build and you help develop the next generation of youth that is going to come out of that community. It also benefits every member of that community, whether it be an elderly person, whether it be a homeless person, whether it be, pets and getting animals off the street. Anything that you could pour into your community, any skill set that you have is good for your community because it helps better your community. What are some ways I am making an impact? So the most recent way that I've been able to make an impact in my community is through the museum that I work with. My family owns and curates a museum, the Quindaro Musuem, an information center where we house information about the escaped slave families and freedom seekers who sought refuge in Wyandotte County, the township of Quindaro in the 1800s. And we give information, we travel, we speak at school engagements, and we educate the youth about the old township of Quindaro and the events that took place with the escaped families who sought refuge here with the Wyandotte Nation. I also give back through my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We host events throughout the year. We do drives and give backs, and we just donate to the community, whether it be our time, whether it be our service. We always find a way to give back to the community, whether that be economic, giving back economically, whether it be educational development. Also, just with friends, just recently this summer, a group of friends and myself did a polling event where we got community members out to register to vote. We were able to get over 100 community members registered to vote, including several community members who were felons who didn't know that they could vote once they were done with probation and things like that. So those are a few ways that I've given back to the community. How did I get engaged with my community once I graduated from college? My step into the door was my family. My dad had a lot of connections in the city and knew of a lot of things that could use assistance and could use young, fresh minds. So my father and my family have always been my first connect with getting reconnected to the community. Also, my sorority, again, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, already had a vested interest in the community, has already done work in the community. So they were able to help open doors and let me know of things that were going on in my community that I could help with. And honestly, sitting around with friends who had just recently graduated from college and coming back home and seeing our neighborhoods and saying, hey, this wasn't like this when we left, or this has gotten worse since we left. This has gotten better. What can we do to help this? What can we do to fix this? So family, friends, community have always been my entry point into getting back in the community and helping with the community. What are 2 do tips and 2 do not do tips as it relates to giving back in your community and serving your community? The first to do tip I would suggest is listen. Always have an open mind, always have an open heart, always be willing to take constructive criticism about the things that you're interested in doing in the community. My second do tip would be always put the idea out. You cannot know if it would have helped if you never suggested. Don't ever be afraid to throw out your ideas and take that criticism on if they will work or not. And 2 do not do tips. Don't take up the space. Always understand that there are different groups of community members and everyone's voice needs to be heard. Don't make it what you want to do for the community. Make it how can you help the community. Always be willing to, as I stated earlier, listen and not just throw out your ideas. Another do not do tip, never limit yourself. Don't assume you know what your community needs. Ask what your community needs. Get out and engage. Don't ever just stay dormant and say, this is what I feel like the community needs. Always ask, and always be willing to get out and speak to the people and reach the people and touch the people.